Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Thanks for waiting patiently for your host Ram to come on this Cricket Happening show. Sorry that I'm a bit late because I was waiting for the Pakistan West Indies game to finish, because I do only one cricket show and that will encompass all the cricket test matches, one-day internationals or 2020s that took place. And today, well, the first thing that we are going to talk about, we all know what we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about the English victory. England, the inevitable happened, I would say, looking at what happened. As you know, Australia had a mountain to climb, and they finished. It was such a victory, which luckily for England, it didn't go on the morrow, because with 3 balls remaining on the final over of the day, as you know, when the 9th wicket is there, they actually have an extra half hour which was played. And in the extra half hour, the new ball was also taken because they could not dislodge the 10th wicket pair of Pattinson and Harris. And then once the new ball was taken, but still it was something which was frustrating the Englishmen. But eventually, just 3 balls before the schedule, the close of play on the 4th day, the match was all over, as Australia lost this match by a huge margin of 347 runs. The last wicket was taken by Graham Swan, who returned figures with, he returned 9 wickets in this particular test match. What a match he had. And he was the one who took the last wickets as he performed the final rights by getting Pattinson LBW for 35. And 235 all out was the Australian answer to the Australian reply in the second innings, and they never looked like reaching the score of 566, which was set by England. So England actually earlier in the day resumed batting, and one was probably waiting, and at least I was definitely waiting for Joe Root to go on to his maiden double century. And well, if he would have done that, probably would have been the youngest person to score a double century in a National Test match. So there would have been the second double record for him. But unfortunately, it was not to be, as Joe Root was the only wicket to fall. And once Joe Root at 180 attempted a scoop of the bowling of Ryan Harris, and he was caught by Smith, and it was very, very, very unfortunate that Joe Root had to be out that way. Well, I would say that Joe Root probably sacrificed his wicket for his team there. But what a knock it was! 180 of 338 deliveries, 18 fours and 2 sixes, fetching him the Man of the Match award. And that was the time the English captain Alistair Cook called his boys back to the pavilion, signaling that it is time for Australia to start batting. So that was a huge target which was set for Australia, and Australia never looked like getting to that. As I said, this pitch yesterday in my Cricket Happening show, I definitely said there was uneven bounce, the ball was turning, there was a rough created. Graham Swan was absolutely on the mark. The English seamers are someone who can really they are very, very, really difficult to handle, and that's what Australia saw. In fact, Australia started off with Shane Watson and Chris Rogers, and James Anderson provided them the breakthrough pretty early in the piece, as Shane Watson got a ball from Anderson which actually held its line, and Watson missed it, and he was gone. LBW bowled Anderson for 20 with 3 boundaries, so that made it 24 for 1. And Usman Khawaja came in and joined Chris Rogers. Now Chris Rogers was out in a very peculiar fashion, in the sense what happened was Graham Swan was really testing him outside the off stump, beating him probably 3 times in that particular over. And the 4th delivery, the next delivery that he bowled, that was the 5th delivery that he bowled, Chris Rogers got a ball which actually hit the rough, and Rogers was shouldering arms. In fact, he thought the ball is going to spin away. Instead, the ball came in and hit the stumps, and Chris Rogers, even without looking at the umpire, started walking. He was gone, bowled by Swan for 6, which made the score 32 for 2. And then when Phil Hughes fell to a ball from Swan, which was a delivery which was actually an arm ball, and Phil Hughes was trapped. LBW bowled Swan for 1, and Australia once again had that sorry story to tell, started struggling at 36 for 3. After that, it was Usman Khwaja and Michael Clark at the crease, and Usman Khwaja and Michael Clark slowly started, I would say they started, I mean, they had to really settle down, and that's what they precisely did. They had to wait for the loose delivery to dispatch to the ropes, and Usman Khwaja also played some very good pull shots, looking impressive. His footwork was precise. There was no airy-fairy strokes in Khwaja's batting. His technique was absolutely perfect. He was really dealing very well with the Graham Swann's off spinners. At the other end, Michael Clark was absolutely tested by Stuart Broad's pretty short deliveries. He tested him. It hit him on the helmet, and it was a very testing time. But well, after that, both of them slowly saw off that particular spell of Stuart Broad, and then finally started settling down to play some good strokes. And when the score reached 134, they had done the job, but only just with 98 runs added. But what they required was a very big partnership. It was not to be. When the partnership had reached 98, the wicket to go was Michael Clark. Now Joe Root was the bowler. Now this is what Joe Root did. Joe Root, when the partnership was going well, that was the time he struck by getting 2 quick wickets. In fact, he got first he got rid of Michael Clark, who was caught by Cook of the bowling of Joe Root, the right arm off spinner, for 51 with 7 boundaries, and Usman Khwaja, after making a very good 54 with 7 boundaries, was a victim of Joe Root once again. As it was a sharp catch taken by James Anderson at first slip of the bowling of Joe Root, and Joe Root had actually reduced Australia from a position of 134 for 3 to 135 for 5. He had taken 2 wickets, and that made the task absolutely onerous for Australia. And then it was nothing to really. In fact, Stephen Smith and Brad Haddin left pretty quickly, with Bresnan's reverse swing getting the better of Stephen Smith, that he was caught behind by Pryor just before tea time. At the stroke of tea, he was gone for 1, and then Brad Haddin couldn't do much. He was gone. LBW bowled Swan for 7, and that made the score 162 for 8 when Haddin departed. But before that, Ashton Agar, after coming in and stroking the ball, stroking 4 boundaries in his knock of 16 of just 13 deliveries, was gone, as he was caught behind by Pryor of the bowling of Bresnan for 16. And then there was a brief, I would say, a resistance from the Australians, where Peter Siddle decided to occupy the crease for 18 runs of 62 balls with 1-4 before being castled by Anderson. Anderson actually hit his stumps, and he was gone for 18. And James Pattinson and Ryan Harris then went into a 10th wicket partnership, which was actually frustrating the Englishmen, because the victory was just getting a bit far off there, and then they forced England to actually go for the new ball in the extra half hour that was taken, which is normally the case as far as test matches are concerned when the 9th wicket is going on. So that's what they did, but that also didn't fetch any reward. And then they probably would have been praying that the match should get over today, and finally their prayers were answered as Graham Swann, the right arm offie, broke this stubborn partnership for the 10th wicket, which yielded 37 runs, when he got rid of James Pattinson, LBW, who made 35 with 3 boundaries. Ryan Harris was not out on 16 with 1 boundary, and Australia were all out for 235, thus awarding England a win by a very huge margin of 347 runs. So they took the lead in the series. They have gone 2-0 in the series now. As far as the bowling figures are concerned, James Anderson 18 overs 2 maidens, 2 for 55, bowled superbly. Broad gave a real testing time to Michael Clark, 21 overs 4 maidens, 54 runs, but no wicket to his name. Graham Swann was all over the Australian batsman, 30.3 overs 5 maidens, 78 runs and 4 wickets. He got a lot of assistance from the ball actually turning from the rough, and with the footmarks created there. Tim Bresnan 14 overs 8 minutes, 2 for 30, good exhibition of reverse swing bowling. Joe Root also started doing well with the ball, and picked up 2 vital wickets at a very crucial stage in the game, when he dismissed Michael Clark and Khwaja in quick succession. And Michael Clark and Khwaja were the only ones who really provided some resistance with 50 apiece. So he took 2 wickets for 9 runs with 7 overs and 3 maidens. So the third test is starting on the 1st of August, and it's going to be played again at Manchester, at Old Trafford. So England winning this match by a huge margin of 347 runs. What a victory for England! And England, as I said, totally dominated, considering that the time they bowled out Australia for 128, the writing was always on the wall. And I thought England gave, I mean, everybody. It was a real teamwork from England. Well, one only would really feel sorry for Joe Root actually missing his maiden double century. He could have become the youngest batsman ever in an Ashes test from England to score a double century, but unfortunately that was not to be. But Joe Root got the bottle of bubbly from the match adjudicators. He was named man of the match. One would have had absolutely no doubt about that particular decision of the man of the match. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a very quick skip of this fourth one-day international, which was played in West Indies and Pakistan. And it was pretty sad that this had to be ruined by rain. Initially there was no forecast for rain, but rain really spoiled the proceedings, and then it went into the Duckworth Lewis mode, and Pakistan were the victors by 6 wickets with 6 balls remaining. They were set a target of 189. They finished off with 1 over to spare, and the other thing was that now Pakistan need not worry about actually losing the series, because they have taken the lead in the series, and this was the fourth one-day international. There's only one to go on, coming in on Wednesday. The only thing that West Indies can hope to do now is to actually square the series, and they would definitely like to do that, so that the home fans would be absolutely joyous about that. But well, Pakistan have taken the lead in the series, and so they don't have the fear now of actually losing the series. Well, just getting on to what happened on a brief way in this particular match in the fourth one-day international played at the St. Lucia, where West Indies batted first. Pakistan, Misbah-ul-Haq, the captain, winning the toss, and then looking at the way the Duckworth-Lewis method was taken with the rain coming in and stopping play, I thought Misbah-ul-Haq had taken the right decision, and West Indies batted first. They made 261 for 7. Today they left out Kieron Pollard. One does not know, even though he collected a lot of ducks, as you know, 4 ducks probably. And so, but I thought that Kieron Pollard is. I thought that was one would have probably not agreed with that, but Kieron Pollard, because he also saves lots of runs on the field, he can bowl. But unfortunately, there was Kieron Pollard was left out of the squad. Chris Gayle, because of his poor form today, was given a position he came in at number 5. And Devon Smith was taken into the squad. He was the one who opened the innings with Johnson Charles. Devon Smith making only 8, 32 coming from Johnson Charles of 48 balls with 5 fours. But the feature was Marlon Samuels batting. Now Marlon Samuels, as you know, he has been criticized that he has not really showed his real form for quite a long time. He couldn't do well against India too in the tri-series. So, but here Marlon Samuels, after having a pretty lean run, finally came up trumps here with a very good knock, very watchful knock initially, then slowly opened up. Then the next 20 overs he really slammed the bowling, and he finished with an unbeaten 106 of 104 deliveries with 9 fours and 4 sixes, and with the help of Lendy Simmons giving him some support, who made 30 of 45 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. Lendy Simmons making 46 of 44 balls, 5 fours and 1 6, and Chris Gayle also contributing 30, coming in at number 5 of 46 balls, 3 fours and 1 6. The West Indies score went to 261 for 7 of 49 overs. Bowling, well, 2 for 60 for Mohammad Irfan. I would come back to the bowling later. Just talking about the match here, as far as Pakistan were concerned, they finished up the match with 50s to both Misbah-ul-Haq, the Pakistan captain, who contributed 53 of 43 balls, 3 fours and 1 6, a very sedate innings at that. And Mohammad Hafiz was the one who really gave some impetus by contributing 59 of 62 balls with 5 fours and 2 sixes. The 2 sixes were pull shots of the bowling of Jason Holder, which was really good to see. That was the time when the rain interrupted proceedings, and they came back with the Duckworth-Lewis method into place. But as Mohammad Hafiz and Misbah-ul-Haq did it for them. Nasir Jamshid was run out for 22 of 37 balls with 1 4. Ahmed Shahzad contributing 14 of as many balls with 2 fours. And then Shahid Afridi coming in ahead of Umar Akmal disappointed by getting out for 7 of 7 balls with 1-4. But Umar Akmal saw to it that he gave he supported his captain pretty well by hitting, making a very quick 29 of 18 balls with 4 fours, and that's what enabled Pakistan to win with 1 over to spare. 189 for 4. They had to score it in 31 overs, but Pakistan did it in the 30th over itself. 189 for 4 was the final tally. So Pakistan winning the fourth one-day international, and thus almost securing the series in the sense they can't lose the series now, and they'll lead the series 2-1. As far as the bowling was concerned, Jason Holder 5 overs 1 for 41. Kemar Roche bowled well, 6 overs 1 for 33. 7 overs for 29 for Sunil Nareen. Sammy unfortunately couldn't be used because of the Duckworth Lewis suddenly brought into the picture. He had bowled 3 overs and bowled very economically for 10 runs. Unfortunately, he couldn't bowl again. Dwayne Bravo 6 overs 149. Samuels 3 overs for 26. Marlon Samuels for the century was the man of the match. As far as the Pakistan bowling figures were concerned, Irfan was very costly today, even though he always has the customary ability to give the breakthrough for West Indies, which for Pakistan, which he definitely did today too, by dismissing Devon Smith. 10 overs 1 minute 2 for 60. Hafiz 8 overs 1 minute none for 30. Junaid Khan 9 overs 2 minutes 1 for 39. They troubled Chris Gayle a lot, Wahab Riaz and Junaid. Wahab Riaz was costly, 6 overs for 42 runs on 1 wicket. 6 overs for 41 runs on 1 wicket for Shahid Afridi. Ajmal bowled his full quota of 10 overs for 43 runs on 1 wicket. So the fifth and final one-day international will be played at St. Lucia once again, and that will be on Wednesday. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show for today as far as this cricket happenings goes. But as usual, you'll be seeing my face on this cricket happening show tomorrow. Until then, it's good night. Thank you.